Well, this isn't much of an improvement.
I'm generally surprised that it's gotten this bad.
I reckon the zoo's walls are to shield downtown from even some of the raging inferno and the riled up animals.
I'm not crazy about the fire, to be frank. I could give or take the random berserking animals, though.
Considering the berserking animals having to be on fire and spreading the flames, I suppose they're more of a package deal.
Yeah.
At any rate, there's only one thing left for us to do. Get to town hall and confront that damn mayor once and for fuck. Oh boy!
You stitched together sloth. You iridescent villain. Well,
Loki,
I'm sorry.
who it is. I've been waiting a long time for...
Out of my way, freak. Look, this is between me and the green one.
Excuse me!
Me? But I thought, isn't Norm your nemesis?
That pistol-wielding ingrate. My nemesis. My office is full to the brim with hippos and fire.
That seems normal, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's just every office.
Do you even know the full extent of what you've done?
Okay, the flaming hippos are news to me, admittedly.
Yeah, most hippos are just a little camp. You, torn apart the social order of Dialtown, the society that I so tirelessly cultivated, like a depraved dog in a manger.
Listen here, Missy. My friend ain't here to pick a fight with you. I am. I've been itching to teach you a lesson for a long time.
Oh, that's rich. The bumbling hip from F nowhere is going to teach the mayor of Dialtown a lesson. Norm, you're nothing to me. Before today, you hadn't even entered my head once, since the day I kicked you to the curb. Just as I planned, you spent every day after your exile from Dialtown, camped out in the wilderness, stewing in your own bitterness, like a petulant toddler stuck in a timeout. But them.
Me?
You.
Oh god, she's got glowing eyes.
I should have torn your head from your shoulders and hurled it into the next state, just like the others suggested. I should have filled you up so full of lead that you'd have set off metal detectors in Minnesota. Oh, you. It was all going exactly to plan. Every one of my specifications diligently met. And then you dragged him back to town after years of sulky inactivity, divided and deterred my best goons. And now, the whole city has been set ablaze. Years of planning, all disintegrated in a single crime spree. All for what? All for a deranged monster you can't tell when they're not wanted?
Now, Missy, if you want to pick it...
Norm, how are you not getting this? I don't care about you. Frankly, it's beyond laughable that you somehow think you're in the loop, that you understand why any of this is happening. You're a pathetic little man, Norm, and you want me to consider you a significant variable in all this. After you'd have spent the last 3 years of your life licking your wounds in the middle of Bumf nowhere, too afraid of me to strike back, you're nothing. And if you weren't a freak, you wouldn't stand out to me at all.
Oh, so I'm the freak? Someone clearly can't see further than her whiskers. You're as strange as they come, Missy. Difference is, you get to boss others around, tell the honest folks of this town what they have to consider normal. There ain't nothing normal about you, though. No siree.
This has anything to do with what I consider normal. You bagged cretin. This is how Dialtown is meant to be. My grandfather's vision.
Yeah, well, unlike you, I've actually met your grandpappy.
Ooh, burn.
I knew Callum Crown, the real Callum Crown. Not the face plastered onto that postcard you've been clutching for all these years. Hell, I saw the Dialtown you're trying to recreate with my very own eyes. The Dialtown today ain't nothing but a soulless husk of what it once was. And you're a soulless husker leader too, unfit to carry Crown's name or lead his city. Back in our day, pussycats weren't left in charge of whole cities.
Excuse me? I've reinvigorated this town, revitalized it.
We've torched it.
This town has grown, developed, blossomed because of my vision, my leadership. I am the blood that flows through this town's veins. I've earned my place here.
Yeah, and I saw above smoke-filled battlefields and godforsaken war zones for this country. Hell, even jetted off into space off for Uncle Sam. I've forged new frontiers, sacrificed my old life for my country, and now, thanks to you, I've gone from jettisoning bombs from aircrafts to being the one jettisoned. Some thanks I've gotten for my service, eh?
I mean, that is very American, to be fair.
Yep. I can say the same for your grandpappy's service to our country. Bastard away in that old nursing home without a single memory left in that head of his. He deserved better.
Think I don't know that. All of this, I'm doing for him.
Bullshit. None of this is for him. Throwing trash like me and Big Dan Billy out of Dialtown, having your mug replace a replica of his old cat's face? You really think any of that's gonna make Pop be able to love you any more than he still can?
I'm trying to make him remember, damn it.
Oh, wow.
Oh Oh boy.
I'm trying to make him remember who he was, what he did for the world. I've done everything that I could think of to make him remember. I've taken him to locations around town that he would recognise, brought him to other people who knew him. Even God wasn't able to fix what was broken inside of poor Paul's head. Hell, even my head modelled my exact specifications to resemble his old cat. The day after they took the bandages off, I visited him in the nursing home. I was so sure he'd remember, that I'd see some life in him once he saw my face of his old cat again. But no, I sat beside him clutching his hand with mine. My grandfather wouldn't even look at me. He was gazing at something outside, something frolicking around nearby, just outside his bedroom window. Poor Paul was so transfixed that he wouldn't even glimpse at me. It was phone Genji, wasn't it?
Oh, it might have been.
You know what he was staring at instead?
What?
You, rummaging around, eating from open trash cans in a nearby alley just outside his window. I'd gotten my whole face reconstructed just to see the old man smile, and he wouldn't even look at me. Instead, his gaze consumed by the trash-eating savage sauntering around outside. You tumour, you pox, you parasite.
This isn't my fault.
I was so close. My final chance to recreate this postcard. Do you remember it?
Is this supposed to mean something to me?
I've shown you this before. You really don't care about anyone else, do you? This is Dialtown, as it was in 1966, the year of the dial-up. I've tried my hardest to recreate the uptown from his time using that image on this postcard. But you've been a perpetual thorn in my side since the very moment I first became aware of you. One day, I decided to take him to the park, and we spotted your tent, a burlap blemish on the landscape. I tried creating this photograph, massed a crowd in uptown to take the place of the one shown in the postcard. Hoped that he'd step into frame, take his place at the front of the crowd, only to realise the cinema had been converted into a horror attraction, throwing the whole image off. Apparently you had a hand in that.
I didn't.
You did. I have witness statements, damn it. Because of you, I had to threaten that Dickens geezer with draconian legal ramifications for unauthorised site alterations, just to get him to revert the outside of that ghastly attraction to its former acquittance. The next time I passed through Uptown, the front of the bank was plastered with "Help Wanted" signs, because the bank's repeatedly reliable teller upped and left on a whim, without giving proper notice. Sure enough, as it turned out, you had a hand in that too. It was you. It's always you. I've strived tirelessly to establish a natural order, to cultivate better, no, a perfect Dialtown, only to have you ruin it, each and every time.
What, so because they were in the wrong place at the wrong time, whenever you wanted to recreate your little photograph, they had to just leave town? Mighty fine leadership on your part there, Missy.
This was personal, you cretin, not at first. Just like you, B-Damn Billion was nothing more than another problem that needed to be steamrolled. Something in my way. But no, you resisted each and every attempt I made to resolve this peacefully, to remove you without using force. And when I tried that, you burnt my city to the ground.
We didn't start the fire.
Hey, I didn't start the fire. I just indirectly influenced things, and that led to the town catching on fire. What I did is probably like the manslaughter equivalent of arson, you know? Legally, I'm probably not to blame.
Legally? I don't care about the... I am the law.
Oh shit.
All right, Judge Dredd.
Judge Mingus. Deep down, Billiam is a free citizen, Missy. They have as much of a right to live here as anyone else.
They aren't costing just anyone else the chance to come back. This is my grandfather we're talking about. The visionary who changed the world. The greatest man to have ever lived. You want me to sacrifice the last shot I have to bring him back? All for a worthless parasite?
They've done more for this Dialtown than you ever have. This worthless parasite has aided your people, Misty, enriched the lives of your most downtrodden citizens. Oh, while you robbed the citizens of this here town blind, using their hard-earned dollars to line the pockets of you and your cabal. Things ain't gonna get better for this town till you're the one who's out of the picture.
You have no idea what you're talking about. This backwater town would be nothing without me. You think these backwater hicks would do anything without me? That Dialtown would have a future? They need governance.
Do you really see your own citizens that way? Oh, your grandpappy would have hated you.
I'm going to effing kill you. And when I'm done with you, I'll move on to your green friend and splay them out in front of the whole town.
Damn.
I'm going to pick each and every stitch out of their heads with my claws and then send each and every one of them to my enemies.
Damn.
So they'll know what happens when nobodies like you two mess with Mayor Mingus' crown.
Hang on, Juster.
You ruined enough lives, Missy. You're out of chances, out of time, and shit out of luck. I'm putting you down, here and now.
Norm, wait.
You fool! I have cat-like reflexes.
And possibly 70 alternate Twitter accounts.
You fool!
I could leap faster than a bullet could ever leave the barrel of your gun. You'd miss, and then I'd gouge your eyes out with my razor-sharp claws.
Do you honestly think you could leap faster than the speeding bullet? You're out of your goddamn mind.
Norm.
I'd try, make my day. You'd miss.
I don't miss. So, here we are. Together we departed, and together we peregrate. Peregrinate?
Pregante?
Pregnant?
No. I laid my eggs back in Act 1, don't you remember? Ah, shit, am I pregnant again?
Beat down, William. It's a pleasure as always.
Oh, hey, narrator. I feel like we haven't talked in a while.
Truth be told, I haven't had much to say since you met Norm. Well, I haven't had to say much, rather. I suppose I was more useful back when you were a hermit and didn't care about anyone else. You know, back when you didn't have anyone else to keep you from wandering into oncoming traffic. But now look at you. Dare I say, you've blossomed.
I have?
You've got a family, beat down, William. A dysfunctional one, granted. And yes, one full of people who aren't actually related in the slightest. And sure, okay, one of them happens to be Bigfoot. But, as they say, family which happens to contain Bigfoot is still by definition a family. Come a long way, beat down, William.
They do say that.
Sometimes a family can be a load of people and Bigfoot.
Oh, hey, you're good at explaining things, right?
Apparently so, yes.
So, what's going on right now? I'm not following any of this, to be honest with you.
Are you? Norma's gonna kill Mare Mingus. That is, unless she is in fact able to outleap a speeding bullet. In which case, she's gonna gouge his eyes out with her claws before he can reload.
Huh.
Are you willing to just stand there and let this happen, well?
Uh-huh.
This is it. Speak up, beat down, William. The ending of this story is in your lime-hued hands.
Yeah! Alright, here I go.
Is it a route diverging choice?
It is not.
Oh.
Norm?
Beat down, William. This ain't a good time. We can talk once I...
Norm? Oh, no,
now
here
it
it
is.
is. Hold on. Save.
So, what are we doing first?
I'm sure the game wants us to say don't shoot, right?
Yeah, probably.
Like, as our way of fixing norms, so we're gonna say don't miss.
Jesus.
She jumped quick, but not quick enough.
Damn.
I can't. How do you do it? I leapt.
What, like a bullet?
I don't understand. I practically flew and you still...
Well, here's the thing about horseflies and horseflies, Missy. The middle of bumfuck nowhere out in the sticks, lousy with them. I've had to mercilessly swat an unmerciful amount of those little varmints, often without a swatter too. And let me tell you, if you do something enough times, you get real good at it. Trick to catching something that flies bullseye? You don't shoot where it is, you shoot where it's going. I'd demonstrate a second time, but to be honest, I don't think there's a bullet swift enough to catch what's left of your soul on its way to hell.
Oh, damn, Norm.
Good riddance, Mayor.
It's done.
Yeah? Huh.
Alright, job's done. Off I go.
Hang on, I want to ask you something before you go.
Of course you do.
Is it just me, or are you feeling like things are working up to something a little more epic? A real finale, you know? I suppose I reckon she put up more of a fight is all.
I, think she wanted to, man. You kinda shot her right in the heart.
And we are to blame. With her talk of being faster than a bullet, I guess I was kind of hoping that she was, so her demise would feel a bit more earned, you know? I just felt like putting down a sick animal.
Are you not proud of yourself?
Not that, it's just... Well, I guess I kind of gave in to my worst instincts, you know? City I hated most is on fire, my foe's dead. She told Dialtown I was a violent, gun-wielding savage, and I proved her right by shooting her dead. But I won, so why ain't I happy?
Ooh, do you want to go get chicken nuggets? That always cheers me up when I'm sad.
This is an existential anguish, beatdown, Billiam.
Chicken nuggets.
She told the world I was a monster.
I am, mentally, a crab. I'm not equipped to coach you through this, man.
I envy that simple mind of yours. You're likely much better off than I am right now because of it.
I'm neither better off nor worse off. Just crab. This is reality.
Time for crab.
It's crab time.
Was she right about me? Did I just prove her right? Maybe Fezzy was talking sense all the way back. Perhaps I could have just bargained, prove I was more than just a monster, you know?
Man, this really sucks. She's fucking dead, yo. Rip in peace, bro.
I just can't make sense of it. What kind of sick god would possibly decide for me to go through with such a callous deed known to lead to a rotten end for the both of us? Oh boy!
Wow. Yeah, that's on us. That's on us. I mean,
That's on you.
that's on us.
Yeah.
Us.
I thought...
We're all very
Woo.
Nutty Normie
nutty,
Noise.
normie, neutered.
Neuter's Nemesis Mingus. The ending where you encourage Norm to shoot Mayor Mingus and learn absolutely fuck all about friendship or forgiveness or whatever.
Excellent. The anti-Kingdom Hearts.
I like the headline, Animosity Killed the Cat.
And
That is a good one. That is a very good one.
Alright, let's do it. Don't shoot, please.
Pardon? Do you seriously think I'm gonna back down this far into into my journey?
I was really hoping so, yeah.
Beat down Bellium, can't you see? I'm doing this for you. For all of Dialtown. This town don't have a hope in hell of surviving under that cat's paw.
this town has to survive the test of time, and that's precisely because of me. Without my grandfather's leadership, this town would have been nothing more than a glorified truck stop. I bided my time for long enough. When Paw Paw comes back,
He ain't coming back. You're unfit to lead, unfit to serve. You're being retired, like it or not.
Norm, don't do this.
I'm not letting this cat-faced charlatan just take your only home away from you. Let it take you away from Dialtown.
Are you really doing all of this just for me?
At this point, I honestly reckon I am. Forget my grudge of the mayor for a moment. If anyone has earned their place in this town, it's you.
Wait, how? I'm just a creature, Norm.
You don't give up on people. You didn't give up on me. Even now, you're still trying to save my hide. I don't care if I sound nutty in this squirrel shit stating it. Dialtown just can't afford to lose someone like you.
If you're doing this for me, can I ask you for just one favor?
Please don't say.
Please drop the gun.
Beat down Billiam, she'll steamroll you.
oh, believe me, I will.
See?
Shh! I'm trying to save your hide here.
She doesn't deserve mercy, beat down Billiam.
You don't have to do this.
Except I do.
You don't. You have friends now. You don't have to go after all this is over. We outnumber her. We'll stand behind you. That is, if you don't prove her right.
Beat down Billiam.
This is your one shot, Norm, to prove years of propaganda wrong. Communism can work. Your one shot to prove the mayor a liar.
I can't believe it. For years I've dreamt of this moment and you just talked me down from it.
You're your own man, Norm. You're showing mercy because you care about justice. Deep down, you know this wouldn't be your decision alone. This should be the people.
All right, beat down Billiam. I'm backing off. She's all yours.
Cock gun.
Do you honestly think that telling your hick friend to hold your pistol changes anything? I am beloved by this town. I'm the blood that flows through Dialtown's veins, just like my grandfather was. I am the most essential component of this backwater cesspit. An enforcer, no. A liberator. You couldn't dream of achieving an even a fraction of what I have. I'm not just going to make Paw Paw remember who he is. Oh no. I'm going to make him proud. Damn meow.
Don't forget that I'm the one holding a gun here, Mingles. Ooh, gun.
You won't be for long. I'm going to splay you out in front of the entire town. For the first time in your life, your bones are going to get to see moonlight. Oh, damn.
Shit.
What a threat.
Shit, this is a real pickle, isn't it?
If you talk like a goddamn British person in my company again, I will do everything in my power to give you a brain aneurysm, disregard the fact that my voice is very British.
The word person is in air quotes.
I mean, that's fair.
What I need is a deus ex machina, damn it. What friends are left remaining? What law hath remained unrevealed?
Nah, I don't know. Your backstory / origin, perhaps?
I was likely born in a fast food restaurant ball pit while screaming dead end.
Something to do with Randy, maybe?
Randy died as he lived, not relevant to any of this. Move on.
That dead raccoon you picked up a year or so ago against my best wishes?
He can't help me now. He fell apart a year ago like soggy tissue paper.
Stromboli, no.
Here's my pitch. Mayor Moggo's postcard. Asked to see it then.
Quickly scarf it down like a loose slice of cheese and then book it while she's recovering?
I'm gonna fade the screen back now. I'm not responsible for what you decide to do once your autonomy is restored.
Hey, before you kill me to fucking death with your gloved hands and such, can I see your postcard up close?
What kind of troglodyted trusting tabby do you take me for?
Give me the...
If I had to do the postcard, you'd likely devour it like a slice of white cheddar.
Damn, she has our number.
Mingus, please, I would never be on delay at this point. Honestly, just incredibly sad.
Beautiful.
If you cannot tell the truth, then just shut up.
I find it hard not to be devious, Miss Mingle. I'm a mischievous scamp.
And you expect me to hand a family heirloom, nay, a family artifact, to any mischievous scamp who just happens to ask?
Yeah.
You must truly be a maniac if you think I'd part with a genuine surviving sample of my grandfather's handwriting.
Handwriting? What?
There's an old love letter scrawled onto the back of the postcard. One my grandfather wrote for my grandmother before the dial-up. But the most important thing on this postcard is the vision. His vision, seen on the front. That's Dialtown. His Dialtown.
But I've heard both you and Norm speak about what Callum would have wanted. I've never actually heard Callum speak for himself. Outside of heavily reverberated hallucinatory snippets of dialogue, that is.
I'm sorry, what?
Actually, for what it's worth, I happen to agree with him, Missy. For all the hemming and hawing we've done on this issue, we're both speaking fair, Callum. Wouldn't it be nice to hear what he has to say just this once? Even if it's not on this very topic?
I know what's best here. This letter and all that it contains is my family's property. My family, my birthright, mine.
Read it, Missy. I want to hear what it says.
You can't make me.
Actually, I can. Hand it to beat down Billiam or I fire.
If you want to know what it says so badly, why didn't you just read it yourself then, huh?
If you're close enough to hand me the postcard, you're close enough to disarm me. Pass it on over to them. I'll give it back when we're done reading it, you know?
Go ahead then, shoot me. Just try.
Mingus.
All right. One glance, then straight back.
Let's see here. It says... Oh, right, I can't read.
Yeah, exactly as everyone else here can recollect. Beat down Billiam, just hand me the postcard. I'm fine with you getting close. That was the plan after all.
No, hold on. Let me try. I got a few words on the last one. Let me try to sound it out. The Dialtown 9 sends 6 to Silk's hot dog.
They're not getting it. Hand it back before they devour it.
Beat down Billiam for the love of all that is just hand me the...
No, I can do this. I just need to imagine what he'd have written.
We're gonna get one of
I
these
don't think
again,
that's
aren't we?
how reading works.
My dear Martha, it pains me to be away from Dialtown. But I'm glad it's still a town of misfits, just as it was when I left. As the town motto goes, all are welcome here in Dialtown.
Huh.
All are welcome here in Dialtown? Are you kidding me?
That quote's out of context.
It ain't. What part of all didn't you hear?
No, I didn't. I didn't want to. You two were rogue, dangerous elements. I didn't. Yous gave me no other choice.
Dear Lord, there's really no excusing any of this. The audacity of this bitch. You really reckon you knew what your grandpappy wanted even better than he did, huh?
Any wrong that I've done for Dialtown. He would have understood that I merely did what I had to do to save his vision. If you found out what I've done after I bring him back, right?
Mingus.
Someone needs a spray bottle. This is definitely a hit to my formerly immaculate worldview. Am I a monster?
Yeah.
Yep.
Good Lord. After spending so long on my own, unable to bring a plan, lost to time, his vision to fruition, the words on the back of this postcard seeped away, leaving only that happy photo on the front. And once my last connection to Paw faded, I huddled around the only warmth I could still feel when I gazed at this postcard, my burning desire to bring him, his world, back to us. I miss him so much, beat down Billiam.
But how can you miss a man you never really met? He lost his memory before you were born.
I feel that in a way I have met him. Every time I see someone else make a call on their phone head, or write using their typewriter head, every time I see someone walking with one of his prosthetic limbs, there's a tiny piece of him in everything around us. I see him everywhere. I just wish he could see me too. I just wanted Paw to tell me how that he was proud of me.
Hey now, you've achieved a hell of a lot.
You're a rock star.
The last time I saw him, he actually looked at me and called me Marla, somehow thinking that was my late grandmother, and he asked me if I'd do it all over with him if I was given the chance. This implies that he can recognise he would have no problem with Marla suddenly becoming a cat person.
Yeah.
I obviously didn't want to tell him who I really was, that Mormor was no longer with us. Or was this before she got the cat genetic
Actually, it might have been before.
surgery? Yeah. Forcing him to re-experience that heartbreak all over again, only for it to be lost alongside his fleeing lucidity moments later. So, I answered if I was her, responding just as I hoped she would have. Yes, my songbird, I would. He stared off, now content. His gaze slowly drifted towards the floor and didn't say another word. I would have given him anything to give him that chance, beat down Billiam. A chance to make Paw proud.
Ma'am, for what it's worth, I knew President Crown, and recent mishappenings aside, if he were here right now, I think he'd tell you that he's mighty proud of you.
You said earlier he would have hated me.
Right, and you called me a monster, to be fair. I'm happy to go back on my word in this one instance if you are.
I didn't mean to become the monster I falsely accused you of being, Norm. I can control everything that happens in this godforsaken town. Dialtown's roads, prisons, taxes, laws, the very public itself are all mine to puppeteer. For crying out, meow, I commanded God today, and he knew to respect my authority. But the one thing I can't do is release Paw from his own head.
No, if every inch of this town is entirely under your jurisdiction, then boy, do you have a mighty fine mess to clean up. After this fire goes out and these flaming critters are all rounded up and removed from the streets of Dialtown, you have to start slapping mortar on bricks and give us the brick facts.
No.
Yes, quite. Nyam. May I ask, would you know anything about construction? Do you know the brick facts, Norm?
Well, yeah, as a matter of fact, I do know some brick facts. I also did some roofing and bricklaying for a couple of years before I joined the Air Force. Why'd you ask?
If this whole excruciating escapade has taught me anything, is that I'm surrounded by incompetent hacks.
Welcome.
I'm sure Nick can relate.
Yep.
And I simply cannot trust a single one of them with the task of leading downtown Dialtown's reconstruction efforts. You were a worthy adversary, and one who, perhaps, almost bested me, maybe in another route. So I can't think of anyone better suited to spearhead the effort of rebuilding my city.
So, well, you exiled me, tried to kill me, and now you want me to help rebuild the very town you threw me out of in the first place?
Yes, and you pressed a gun to my head, effective moments after burning half my city to the ground.
In fairness, Theodore is mostly responsible for the ensuing inferno. Fuck her a dynamite. I'm lucky my face still has its signature skin on it.
You see what I mean about the utter incompetence of my lackeys. Mule-run. It goes without saying, Norm, that if you were to do this for me, you would, naturally, be granted a royal pardon, and with it, the freedom to live here in peace.
Royal pardon? You're not the Queen of Dialtown.
Perhaps not now, but soon.
So that means I get to stay with my new friend. I mean,
Got in.
Yeah, all right. This is acceptable, I guess. Well, on one condition it is.
All right, state it.
If I'm sticking around, I won't turn a blind eye to injustice. Fire them two weird henchmen of yours and...
Your vernacular makes it difficult to tell if you intended for queer to mean strange or gay. Both are actually quite good.
Why'd you interrupt me to point out such a needless distinction for those two clans?
Apologies. Continue.
Hire me as your new sheriff.
No. I'm trying to become less of a fascist, thank you.
What if I were to use one of my own guns, which means you could add the cost of my pistol and ammunition to your budget in order to launder a few $100 and buy yourself some fancy schmancy expensive milk?
Standing. You're not even my sheriff yet, and yet you're already corrupt, like a true cop.
Yet?
Well, yes, obviously, I want the crime milk, the tastiest and most forbidden dairy product.
I don't need to hear about the crime milk in the chat.
Good. First mandate as sheriff, we need to talk about some of your laws. You know, your particularly draconian ones.
We can discuss them later.
Alright then, I'm out. Good luck finding someone else to lead your construction effort. Guess you'll have to just put little Billy in charge of the explosives you'll be using for the demolition of those burned building husks, huh?
Oh, good lord. I'd rather fake my own death and move to a roach tail in Vegas than even consider that timeline for even a moment longer than is legally necessary. Fine. I'll agree to one single change now, and we'll discuss the rest later. Plot twist as soon as Norm becomes sheriff, he shoots God.
Lower your tax rate by no less than 25% for all citizens of Dialtown.
Absolutely not. This town needs every cent allocated to the budget for its various trees and to fund my rigorous beauty regimes.
Beauty regime? You're a cat! Cut taxes.
You don't understand. Lowering taxes by 25% across the board would create a budget deficit of approximately $1 million. Where do you expect me to get that kind of money from? Huh?
What's your average yearly salary?
Well, it's currently around 1 million. Fine. I guess I'll eat nothing but baked beans for a year. Whatever.
That's a mighty fine start, Cattywampus. I reckon that ought to even things out quite a bit. Now that the taxes and the sheriffdom are out of the way, I only have one last question remaining. What about Beatdown Billiam?
Oh, who cares about?
I care. Let my green friend here run amok and frolic around this fine town whenever they please. They ain't harming anyone with their tomfoolery,
We've
except
harmed
those times when they
several
do.
people with our tomfoolery.
All right. Fine, beat down Billiam. Your exile has hereby been lifted, and you've been pardoned of the inexcusable sin of being your true self.
Oh, epic. Yeah.
You get to live in Dialtown, in a house of your very own,
Tent.
in an apartment of your very own.
Tent.
I'm not letting you take up valuable public space with a...
Tent.
Fine. In a tent located in a secluded...
Tent at the park.
Oh, for the love of... Fine, in a tent at the park then, I guess. But you can't hurl lit fireworks at the swans that wander near your tent anymore without paying the same fine everyone does for causing illegal swan-related explosive incidents, that is.
This is truly unworkable. Norm shooter now.
Beat down, Billiam.
Oh, all right.
Wonderful. And your day is dawning in Dialtown. I can feel it, line it.
Well, behind all the flames.
Do we get to see our children? That's what I really
So
need
thanks
to
for
know.
being with us today, Norm. After a years-long exile, you're back in Dialtown.
That's right, Rachel. Hopefully for good this time.
Riveting. Could you please enlighten us as to what you've experienced and learned since your now recanted exile?
Well, I'm an old soul, and boy, have I seen a lot. Just as much after the exile as before, I guess. Like it or not, solitude changes a man, forces you to address a fundamental part of yourself that most people never even seen. But I find that abject misfortune tends to either totally break or make a man, you know? Plus, I guess it wasn't so bad, being alone for so long. I had good company.
Fascinating. Is there anything you'd like to say to the residents of Dialtown in the spirit of moving forward? No profanity, please.
Oh.
Why, yes, there is. Look, I spent many years stewing in my own acrid juices. Wretched imagery aside, I know better than anyone that a caustic heart consumes its owner. When society itself has transformed you from a man to an outcast, made you out to be a monster, it can be difficult not to become the very monster that they claim you are. It can be difficult not to prove them right. I came close to doing just that. But someone saved me. A green messiah who ended up teaching me more in one day than my bitter mind had conceptualized in years.
When you say Green Messiah, are you talking about the goblin who lives in a tent at the park?
Well, yeah, I am. Looks can be deceiving, you know. Just as I was misjudged, they've been too.
Please give $2 per
Really?
burger.
How so? What did they teach you?
Their lessons gave me a multitude of epiphanies. Taught me that my happiness is in my own
Tent
hands,
goblin
and
for the
that
park,
nobody
what's
else is
your
going to
wisdom?
ensure that I live a happy life.
Burger.
That I'm good just as I am. That I shouldn't change myself for the sake of being similar to other people, but instead seek a future where I'm the best version of myself, not the person the world expects me to be. But most of all, my watermelon-hued friend gave me hope, something I lacked for a long time. I didn't know how badly I missed it till I felt it again. And you know, the funny thing is someone like that, someone so strange and whimsical, someone who barely resembles a human, so different and spurned, could hold such inherent wisdom and contentedness. Maybe there's hope for me after all. Maybe for all of us. Maybe things can get better. Maybe we can make the world brand new again.
Inspirational. Norm, thank you so much for coming on the show. I just have one question for you before we sign off. Where is your green friend? Could they not join you here today?
Oh, I'm sure they have a very important event to attend.
Is it time?
It's happening.
Could it be?
I
They're repulsive.
don't know what I expected.
Just like the beast that spawned them. I hate every single one of them. Especially that one. This was a waste, damn it. This has all been for naught. That, ladies, gentlemen, phones, typewriters, printers, and...
Nuclear bitches.
Nuclear fucking bitches. That is Dialtown. I have been his cursedness and I won't be for very long. Bree has been Bree, and also Karen, Randy, Mayor Mingus, Oliver,
God.
Epic. And of course, a sheer nightmare. I'm kidding, you've been fantastic. Goggles has been the narrator. Theodore, Little Billy, Christ. And of course, Bigfoot, and again, a goddamn nightmare.
Yeah, it was great though.
And finally, I have been a goddamn nightmare.
Yeah, you have.
You have all in the chat been a goddamn nightmare, and this nightmare is now over. Until the next time.
Speaking of nightmares, I think I speak for all of us when I say, Little Billy, do you have any final words?
Colossal Billy is always coming. Scrankus, 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 scrankus.
I'm going to say goodnight now, but first of all, and for the last time ever, say goodnight, Brie.
It shan't be a good night. I have to be up for work in 5 hours. But it's been a lovely evening.
And last and certainly not least, say goodnight, Goggles.
Good night, Goggles.
Yeah.